Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Total War Harondor campaign. We are picking up at the end of the last episode, of course, where we had captured Umbar City, and now we're faced with sort of a mop-up operation. This may take a little longer. It always takes a little longer than I expect to sort of really secure this whole area, because we've got 2 permanent fortresses here. We've got 1, 2, 3 additional settlements to take. Then we've also got this place, which I do need to grab at some point. But I think this will be one of the later ones. We'll kind of focus on the coast first if we can. To that end, what I've done is I've rearranged things a little bit. The army that took Umbar is now going back out into the field because we've got a fairly large force here, and we've got a fairly large garrison in Karis Nan. So I think we'll attack this army here. What I'm trying to decide now is how to approach this. We've got Pin Umbar Fortress with a family member standing right outside of it, making a pretty tempting target. So I think I may hit that with one of my smaller armies. I think I'm going to go with this. It's literally just a bunch of plainsmen mounted skirmishers and a family member. He's not even really good, but he is a cavalry unit, and he's going to be comparable in size to this guy's force. And I think with these guys, we can take everything that's here. So let's hit that and see if they will remain on the battlefield. Oh, we just don't have movement points to do it. Okay. I could hit it with this army, but I'm kind of thinking I will wait, and I'll use this force for, I don't know, maybe I'll head them back in this direction. Let's take care of this army first, though. We'll go ahead and attack. They will stand and wait for that, which is kind of nice. This is it's a pretty plump-looking target, if I'm honest. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 swords of Harad that I would love to get rid of. But this is the kind of army that you'll see a fair amount of, and it may look intimidating, but it's not too bad to deal with, I think. You're going to take some losses due to the javelins, but look at the morale. Like, these are all low-tier units, so the morale is going to be really weak. And if we can get a good snipe on this general, then they should not last very long. So the goal, of course, is going to be to get Karis Nan. I think that's going to be our next target. Then we're going to go up the coast to the other coastal settlement. And then the one on the far end of the cape there is one that seems a little less lucrative than the others, I think. So it tends to go for like military specialization when I play. And that may be what we do here with it as well. So yeah, the usual stuff. I think I want the archers to be back, though. We'll have that unit back there, and we'll just keep the skirmishers out front. Otherwise, group everybody up. This all should be fine. We've got a fair enough amount of infantry that I think we should be good. And this is a really interesting map in terms of the terrain. I wonder if they're going to let us steal this this high ground here. We'll see what they do. But yeah, they've got just this this Harondor Riders unit for the general. And yeah, if we can get up here, there's the pillar of Ar-Pharazôn in the distance. Keep moving them down. Now they're probably going to send forward with their skirmishers and swords pretty soon. But if we've got the height advantage, that's going to be pretty nice. Okay, some footmen, some swords. We are starting to fire. The angle is going to be a little weird because it's a very sort of steep drop-off. But yeah, we're gonna have no trouble. These guys, I'm surprised they're not routing already, honestly, because we've got these sorting skirmishers, we've got my bodyguard. All of that is fear-causing. So we'll just let the arrows do their work. Skirmishers think they want to be a hero and charge in? Fine. Figured they would change their mind. Yep, they just get to the point of scrimmage and then back off. Alright, we are facing some swords of Harad here who are sticking around. So let's charge in. They're Harondor armsmen. We're going to take some pretty awful losses there. Well, let's hold off. Let's hold back. I was going to send them forward just to kind of keep up the pressure, but let's send them down into the flanks, actually. because we're still hitting all of these guys. So we can get this group to rout, and that's really most of our work done, because I think the rest of it is, yeah, it's mostly footmen. They've got 1 unit of swords. And they're going to charge into our armsmen. So that is actually going to do more damage than I thought. But now's our chance to get the general. Yeah, this is why, as you can see, I'm not a big fan of attacking. Because I don't know. I'd rather wait, kind of see what the enemy's going to do. Hang back. I guess arguably attacking is a lot like defending in this game. There's not much of a difference because you can get the AI into a position where they're going to attack you regardless. Okay, so they're gonna withdraw their forces and get back to this settlement. There's a unit of swords, but otherwise I'm not feeling super ambitious about chasing them all the way back. So what we'll do is we'll instead just ensure that, yeah, all these guys are going to rout. Great. Yep, they're gone. Okay. And we'll just make sure we do a good job of routing these guys off the field. I guess we'll just escort them with our skirmishers, of which we only have a single of these mounted skirmisher units here. And these footmen are being a little annoying. They're kind of getting in the way. I guess we've got some time that I could maybe get the swords to route too. The edge of the map's down there. Okay, we just ran out of javelins, unfortunately. And they're going to get off the field. Alright. Yeah, we'll just wrap this up. So, not great. I mean, you know, we lost about 100 men. And I could have done that probably better if I'd been a little more... You know, there's always that back and forth at the beginning of the battle where the enemy is just running guys up to your line and then running them back. And so that's the point when I get a little impatient. Because it looks so silly. So I feel like not engaging with it and just kind of speeding up the timer. And that's when they can sort of get you. So, do we want to go right for Karis Nan right now? We're possibly going to get hit by... well, we could get hit by this unit. I think maybe I'll swat them away. How about that? They're going to make me fight this. It's footmen. I feel like we have to fight it, though. This should be a very, very, very quick one. And I'm going to try to do this without losing any men. I mean, it should be pretty basic. We'll just treat it like a horse archer fight. So let's just literally get all skirmishers. And where are they? Right over here, okay? We don't have quite as many skirmishers or as many full units of skirmishers as I would really like. But yeah, this kind of thing, this will get him down, demoralized. And we might catch some friendly fire, that's the only thing. There we go. Okay. And we didn't even need to get into the fight. Yep, no losses. Nice, okay. So, a silly battle, but I think we kind of wanted to do that to avoid getting hit while we're besieging Karis Nan. Now, arguably, that could be a good thing, right? Because it could mean that it's just a defensive field battle. But let's go ahead right about here and put it under siege with, yeah, I guess we really only probably need 2 rams, but let's go for the full couple of seasons. We'll wait and see what they do, and this might give us also an opportunity to take out, like, units from here or here if they come out. And otherwise, we're doing a bit of building with all the plunder that we accumulated from Umbar, so we're getting up to a road camp, which is sort of a unique trader building that's only available to the Haradrian factions and also, I believe, Khand. So it's just a nice little boost to trade. We're going for the second tier of military development up at Harmen near the ford there, and then some consultation in Radharnen. We're also getting going on military stuff in Karenbad, because what I think I want to do here is make this, you know, my Archers of Harad place. I think this is a perfect city to get archers as a garrison, because it's got these nice big stone walls. And so, you know, long term, here's what I'm thinking about Harad. You know, if we can clear them out here pretty quickly, and then I think about, yeah, even taking this, then what I'm going to do is I'm going back and forth, possibly taking Harlorn, right? Considering possibly taking Harlorn, but maybe not. And maybe instead just putting it under siege, putting this under siege, putting this under siege, which means we will have to deal with a Mumakil, and going for a protectorate, making Harad my protectorate. If the situation with Khand and Far Harad holds, in which Khand owns Far Harad essentially, then we've got a protected faction here, which is going to be, I think, pretty passive, so we won't have to worry about them. And we'll have our eastern border with Khand walled off by Harad. So if that goes according to plan, we could have a secure south in a little while here, as long as it takes us to get this secure and get our funds up to around 100,000 or so. When that occurs, then our next step will be, okay, if we're done conquering in the south, we still need 30 provinces total. We've got 9. You know, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 more anyway. If we get a protectorate status, that'll count as, 8, 9, 10. So that would get us up to 19. We'd still need 11 more, to get to that number of 30. And so that's probably going to come from Gondor. And it means we're probably going to be going to war with the Reunited Kingdom. That's kind of cool, though. I haven't really played to that point as Harondor in a long time. And so, especially since Gondor seems to be winning, right? They're besieging Eminarnen. They own minus Ithil, and they're doing really well. They've got their homelands. So it might be kind of a fun clash to take Harondor against the Reunited Kingdom and see if we can match up with them. Because, they've got excellent infantry, but so do we. We've got some really, really good options, and we've got some really flexible options, including flexible cav. All right, so are you going to uncover the settlement? Not quite, not quite. There's a city really near there. Okay, and here's the assassin for Harad. And this could be a real annoyance. Okay. Oh, we're attacked. We're attacked. All right, so this is going to be the battle for Karis Nan. They've got... Oh, they brought in some sea forces. That's really interesting. So, this is the city's garrison. Oh, this is the new emperor. Great. Okay, so the emperor here, the ruler, and he's got his 3 units of swords, and he's got, some infantry, some cav. But this Nabelung of Harlorn came all the way from the island, because these units, Gondorian hillmen, are only available as sort of a local levy unit in Gondor regions. And the only Gondor region that they have is this. So they've got some scruffy hillmen from across the sea to come down to relieve the siege. Well, yeah, let's give it a shot. All right, so off to our right, you can see just the tops of the settlement of Karis Nan, so that's where the garrison will come from. And let's see, Arbazan, are you in good shape? We've got a pretty full unit of Harondor armsmen and 2 pretty weak units. But really our strength in this army is archers and skirmishers in general. And I think that'll be fine, because all of the stuff that they're sending against us is really rather light. Okay, so we'll get like up to here. Again, I want my archers to be protected. And yeah, I mean, spears in the middle is not great, I guess, but we'll go with it.
Enemy reinforcements have arrived in battle.
All right, that's the city garrison, and the main army should be coming from Ah, right there, right through the trees. Well, this will be great if this works. We get the city without having to assault, while taking out some units that I didn't expect to face, like some guys from Harondor. The thing about that island is it's such a an attractive target for factions like, you know, the Reunited Kingdom. Whoops, I gotta. Whoops. Oh, just a giant catastrophe. Okay, fortunately we didn't accidentally move them. We've got to actually group you guys, and then we can do this thing. Okay. They're going to eventually decide to stop outflanking. It's like, I get what you're doing. Oh my gosh, so annoying. I mean, it's the smart thing to do. There we go. It's like, I don't even want to bother. I don't even want to, because you turn and then they're just going to turn the other way. But we've got an archer working on him now, so that's, I guess, going to entice them to come forward. So these are the Gondorian Hillmen. It's not a high tier unit, right? This is I think first tier. Just the peasant rabble you can scrape together from the hills and the margins of Gondor's territory. The idea behind this unit is that it's not like, you know, it's not the Dunedainic, you know, regular army guys. These are the people living in the backwoods. These are the, you know, the sort of the cast-offs, I guess, or just the people living on the margins, maybe descended from those middlemen from long ago. So it's a unit that kind of like the enemies of Gondor can get. Probably the allies too. I mean, honestly, like, I think Rohan would get these kinds of units as well. But the idea is, if you've conquered territory in Gondor, it's like, you know, the regular military is not going to just join up with you. We have already done a lot of damage with only a few units shooting at them. But the annoying thing now is that we're going to need our arrows for the bigger army. And so I think I want to risk my general. See if I can take out theirs. We've already taken out a couple of horsemen. I don't know what he's going to do, honestly. Okay, he's charging my skirmish line. And he's going to run through his spears. Probably. Gosh, we're moving so slow. Okay, great. I was kind of thinking we would just rout them. And if we could catch these guys, that would be wonderful. I don't know if we will. Oh my gosh, I should have sent the mounted skirmishers after them. Yeah, let's pull back the general. We'll just keep the lancers on him because, you know, I think the lancers will do fine if they do catch him. And we're already cutting him down. There we go. He's routing. Yeah. Alright, there we go. I might leave you here. Just keep an eye on you. Because if they run back to the city, we won't get it. So it would be nice to make sure we get all of these guys. Harondor riders. I can see what you're trying to do. Alright, great. I get in among the archers and are now routing. But that's not the general. This is the general. We are going to catch a surprising amount of these guys. We got actually all of them, which is really great. So the Serpent Black, I'd forgotten that their ruler was with them. And that this was not just a unit of, or not just an army of like low-tier stuff led by that Harondor riders. I was thinking of the last battle in which the Herondor Riders were, in fact, the captain of the force. But no, we're going to have to contend with the faction leader here. So I think the best way to do that is to try to neutralize his unit as much as possible and get our spears in the back quickly. Because he could, if he does a charge, the morale could overrun us. Let's not skirmish with our guys, and let's see if we can get some kills. Went from 38 to 31 pretty quickly. Alright, looks like they're peeling off some swords to deal with my lancers, which is fine. Alright, halt. And let's get him out of there now, because I really hate to take swordsman casualties. Swords go after swords. Swords go after swords. And the spears. Let's see. Yeah, let's go after the footmen. Here, these footmen have overextended themselves, I'm afraid. So we'll turn around and get them with the archers, as well as our bodyguard. They're utterly tired, so wow. And yeah, I think we're going to just shoot down the general, honestly. Send you in here. Flank with the archers. And do we want to use the scary skirmishers? I think so. Bring them around to encourage this flank to rout. A lot of our archers, though, are out of ammo now, or some of them are. So let's send them down. Okay, great. We've routed those guys. I think it's time to send the skirmishers down. The mounted skirmishers, only 3 men left in this bodyguard unit. Alright, how's this doing? Doing okay. I mean, our archers are losing a lot against them. You know, I think they would. But these guys are very tired. Our archers are winded. Oh, and the swords. Alright, let's get them. Okay, looks like the family member has decided to throw in against our archers. These footmen are holding, probably because their general is really close. Down to just 2 men here. Alright, Swords of Harad. We're not breaking through them as quickly as I'd hoped. And this is risky, sending the general in. We've only got 21 men here. And if they throw back their javelins again... Well, what we'll do is if we kill the general quickly here, which I think we will... we can maybe get a rout going pretty fast. Flank with the archers over there. Alright, he may have a lot of health. Only 18 Swords of Harad left there. Okay, some of these guys are routing. Okay, he's routing too, so... Okay, good. We got him, so that should be it. I mean, we should get the settlement there. Alright, so Karis Nan looks fairly happy, but I still think I may want to lay desolate. And, yeah, that certainly improved the public order there. Of course, we're hurting population, and eventually that's going to catch up to us, perhaps. But I do have to remember that as Harad, we do, or as a Haradrian faction, rather, we do have decent population growth, so I don't need to be quite so paranoid about that as you would if you're playing, like, you know, I don't know, a Dunedainic faction or something like the Elves or Dwarves. But let's find a settlement here. Okay, Mid-Deeping, there it is. So, Dunabar's still got that. Let's go down here. They've got another one down here by Emin Arnen. Okay, Lathron. Let's go over to Rohan and just see how they're doing. It looks like, yeah, Rohan owns this side of the river still. And sometimes the Dunabar conquers pretty far up into up the Anduin Vale. So they may still have some of that territory. But I think, you know, the Reunited Kingdom is gradually going to wear them down, and that makes this a little more urgent. So again, I'm glad that I've captured this, because if we face the Reunited Kingdom before we've got this locked down, and when, you know, we're going to be losing some of the trade we've got going with them, and, you know, of course they could start blockading ports, taking cities, and that would of course be really bad. So we've got our economy. Again, really hard to tell because we're taking a city like every turn here, so it's hard to tell what is actually real in terms of economic growth at this point. But we can just keep skating along on destruction here. Let's take out some of this stuff. You know, Karis Nan, I probably will make that financial policy, because with Umbar, we've got a really strong military settlement anyway. So I don't feel the need to make a lot of these military. Shipwright. Yeah, this is the one we want to keep, because this is like the port, essentially, with trade fleets and so on. And let's see, tribal grants we want to keep, and I guess, yeah, we'll get rid of the Homeland Dominion. Go for the provincial pacification, lower the taxes, queue up a scout, and maybe, let's see. Looks like Anumbar is going to have some men, and Athendad is going to be the new center of resistance here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can induce this guy to retreat towards the fort. Ah, he's going to just go in. Okay. You're no fun. Let's go ahead, though, and I want to put this under siege. We've got some bits and pieces of units here in Umbar City. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking maybe we bring out these mercenaries and then go like that. We build like one siege tower, maintain the siege, and then we take them out next turn. These fortresses are pretty easy to take, and so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it says we're making almost 20,000, which is totally not accurate. It's just a reflection of our plunder. But we've got an army down here, but now we're getting really beat up. So I think it might be useful to start training some more of the Harondor armsmen. Not too many, because they are fairly expensive. They're almost as expensive as a bodyguard in terms of upkeep. But I want to train like maybe 2 units. Get them queued up. And then we can start passing them down here. So another thing we may want to consider is getting some naval stuff. I'll spend a little bit of cash here on a Southron ship of war down at Harondor, just so that I can, you know, more quickly send troops down to where I want them. And let's put the spy in here now, just to defend against bribery. Take out the army. Can I afford to take anything out? I guess I could leave the skirmishers in. I mean, ultimately, I want these guys back at Umbar City so that they can be retrained to full. That's the awesome thing about holding Umbar. You can retrain these guys, even though they tend not to be available like in the hinterland of Umbar itself. They're more of a unit that's, you know, native to the desert. The reach of Umbar goes far to the south indeed, and so probably one of the ways that this is intended to be reflected is that you can retrain a lot of mercenaries here, even if they're not like right from where Umbar is. Okay, let's just go put Habad under siege, and we've 2 rams. I think that should do it. That's going to be a couple of turns. Maybe I will recruit a mercenary in the meantime, or on the following turn, a spearman. Let's go with it right now. We can afford that. And that may even... Yeah, that brings down the time. So we can send, like, this guy, and then we'll just go in and we'll take Habad possibly next season as well. Alright, and this is our Cav army. We'll hit you. And unfortunately, you're not going to retreat back to Athendad's, you know, in such a way that I can get an easy, quick victory. Do I want to bother? I don't think I want to bother fighting this tiny skirmish unit. Looks like they are sending some units to the west. Yep, more desert skirmishers. Really not impressive. And in Karis Nan, they're keeping the elephants pretty close. So no new developments there. All very good. Farharad is totally being passive around its settlement. So, which way? Which way? I guess Athendad would make sense. It's their new capital. But, you know, this isn't a sieging army anyway. I know we could get here. We could force a defensive battle to get the city. But those are... I'm always paranoid about those battles. Because when battles occur on the AI's turn, sometimes you can have a crash, right? There's various ways to deal with that. But I'd prefer to not. So I like to get sieges on my turn. And so we'll hold off. Maybe next season we'll... see if we can drive you off a little bit farther. But let's maybe we can just get a little bit closer here. And then, I don't know, once we get one of these other cities, we'll have some other moves that we can make. Okay, I guess that's the end of that. No other changes anywhere in terms of building. We're still showing some profits, so we'll see if we get up to more like 30,000 next turn, or if that's not going to be quite accurate. Yeah, Dunabar is making some moves, so I'm wondering if they're trying to bribe or just who knows. Okay, but yeah, South Athelion has fallen to the Reunited Kingdom. And it looks like Rohan is making a move in this direction too. Alright, Rohan has captured Fairfeld, which it often does. And this is held by the Bjornings. Okay. So yeah, Dunabar is going to crumble here. Okay, we've got some new alliances. Nothing that really concerns us. Rune is just extending its network a little bit. Okay, we've got an extra spy now. Ah, Akis Anabon has completed its fiefdom dominion. Great. And Umbar City has completed its provincial pacification. So let's get right on this. Outland Dominion, over 8,000. But yeah, you're going to be the Lord of Umbar. So this is our adept governor, adept commander guy. I think he's going to be pretty good in this role. Let's go ahead and get everything set up correctly for a growth policy and local governance there. And that's going to eat up, I think, yeah, more than all of our expected profits. So that's fine. Now what we can do is go ahead and assault this fort in this city and add a couple of settlements to our repertoire, I guess. Well, let's move over in this direction though, because I like seeing armies getting out of cities. I don't like fighting a big siege. So what we'll do is get right at the border of our territory. It's going to prevent him from heading this direction. But we can assault this right now. We've got our one siege tower. And this is just some noble with some assorted units. Now again, the forts here are useful strategically for a couple of reasons. Most importantly, they can add a little bit of income and they can have a little bit of military training. Not very much, but if you get them built up, they can just be kind of good for supplying those garrison troops that you sometimes need, and you don't want to spend the time at your larger military centers training low-tier stuff that's just going to cheaply hold some city in the middle of nowhere. So the forts are good for that purpose. They're not that hard to take, but these ones are actually harder than some because there's no way to avoid tower fire, so we may be a little hard put to it, I guess. And if they're on the walls, maybe I attacked a little too quickly here, in fact. I guess we'll see. Let's move over. I mean, it really doesn't matter, I guess. We can move just about in any direction. We're going to have gate towers and towers just on the walls. Okay, and here we've got plainsmen skirmishers. So let's see how they approach this. They don't have the archers up on the wall, which is good for us. But really the goal here is to start capturing towers. so that you don't have to suffer this fire, and so that they can get punished.
And our men stand ready to take the city with swords and fire.
And yeah, we can see in the distance, since we're looking east, I guess that's the port for Umbar. And yeah, the pillar is right up there, I think. Pillar of Farazan. And looking due south, there's the other fort, right across the inlet or whatever. Just about out here. Now, I think I don't want to go here just yet. That'll just get these guys shooting at me. So as soon as we get out of the siege tower, we'll head in this direction and grab all these other towers and gates. Yeah, and we're getting shot because they've got quite a few archers here. Ah, but they're going to come around behind me. Okay. And I don't have infantry, really. I do have these guys. So I think we'll send them up. We'll get on the other side of these skirmishers and deal with them. Watch me lose this fort, like after just bragging about how easy it is to take these places. Okay, let's get up here. Yeah, did we change it so that towers don't shoot inward anymore? Because it's kind of a big part of my strategy. You know, it's not something I'm terribly proud of, but yeah, I was sort of thinking you go around, you capture the towers shoot inside, and then they take out the enemy. That does not seem to be happening. And so we may be obliged to, yeah, we're going to lose this. We're not going to get this fort. Okay. All right. Well, at least I'm sure glad this was an interesting and unexpected event for you all. Now, actually, we do own these gates, but that would be stupid to try to get this. I'm going to retreat. We're going to withdraw from battle. Because we've just got skirmishers. I didn't think they were going to be used at all. I thought literally we'd get like 2 guys around the gates and then just have them do the work. Maybe we changed it with forts or the cities too, because I don't think they were doing that at Umbar either. Okay, interesting. So this is... Oh man, there's so much that I forget about this mod, even though I've been playing it and working on it for years and years and years. Okay. So that's a defeat. All right, fair enough. Well, we're in a position where this guy cannot enforce that. He can't come back and fill in with a fort. But we could probably what I should have done is just held it under siege. All right, let's do this one. This should go a lot better. Musab of Umbar North, the new faction leader, the new ruler. Who is an expert commander, though. This is not great. He is an attacker, though, so he's not going to be doing that well. Yeah, you can see he's not doing that well in this particular battle. But he's the Emperor of Harad, overbold. In terms of his age, he's very young, new come to manhood. So he might be a bit of a tough fight. He's got 39 men. We've got 24. I think we could take him, you know, if it were just 1-to-1. But let's get in and see what this looks like. So this is a wooden wall settlement. Now, in this one, I think it's the small wooden walls. Not quite sure. Some of them you can get on top of with archers. Some of them you can't. But both of them, regardless, are rammable. So you can bust them down with just rams. So we've got, I think, 2 rams here. And maybe I'm being a little too aggressive and overconfident with my sieges. Yeah, so this is the higher one. This is the higher tier one. So what we don't want to do is go through the gate, right? Because that is just going to... it's going to be exposing us to more fire. So I think this is going to be the... Well, it's a bit of a tough call, isn't it? Because you've got these 2 towers on either side. But let's set up here anyway. And we'll send in, you know, our... let's bring everybody over here. That's really everybody? This army looks tiny now. Wow. Oh, wow, that's... Okay, that's sobering. When they're all spread out in their lines, it looks a little more impressive. Okay, but we're going to go with the mercenaries. We're going to just start here, ram through. And we're going to have you quickly capture, like, this tower. And I think I'll also send the... Yeah, I think I want to send these footmen to take that other tower. And then we'll move right for the plaza, where everyone's going to be hanging out anyway.
Now comes the test of their courage.
But notice how we can get, you know, right to this wall without coming under any fire whatsoever. And we've only got this unit of swordsmen. And our archers are going to be doing most of the work here, so we have to be pretty careful of them. Skirmishers are just going to be kind of around. Maybe they'll have an opportunity to throw some javelins, but maybe not.
Luck and the gods smile upon you. The enemy walls
Okay.
are breached.
And we just need to get someone to, like, touch that tower. Yeah, we're not coming under fire. Okay, maybe I don't need to worry about these towers. Let's do an experiment. We will just march in and see if we don't come under fire. Interesting. If, you know, Webba is watching, or, you know, anyone who would know, if we changed this so that the towers do not fire inward anymore. Because I don't recall that. I mean, we've got this one, so this one wouldn't be shooting at us anyway, but I would think that we would be shot in the back by now by this tower. Very, very interesting. So that's going to require me to no, okay, we did get one loss here. So maybe we just weakened them quite a bit. Right, let's send you over here. Let's figure this out definitively. Are you getting shot? I mean, you definitely are, because the Serpent Black is shooting at you. But here we're not seeing anything. All right, where are you? Okay, we are getting shot. Okay, all right, good to know. I guess I just lucked out somehow from not seeing that damage. Okay, yep, we're getting some hits. So it's just it's not nearly as strong as I would have thought. All right, these are Swords of Harad. I would like to get them before they get back to the plaza. Now what that means I should do is try to capture this tower, because if you know that's the case, then I could get that on my side. We do have just 2 cav units in here otherwise. So right now all they're doing is soaking up arrows, which I guess is fine. They're mercenaries. All right, quick. Let's get the mounted skirmishers back. And what are they going to throw at? They're not quite sure. They haven't thrown yet. I'm guessing they're going to go for my archers. Get the swordsmen in there. The archers are going to ineffectually skirmish away. Let's have them fight, I guess. Alright, yeah, they're going to be gone pretty soon, and they are marching. So are they out of arrows? It looks like they are. So they're going to run into our spears, and they're probably gonna rout them. get done with these guys. Okay, I think we just caught some friendly fire there. Otherwise, I was a little confused as to why we were getting a loss on my bodyguard. But okay, we're doing okay. I mean, that's the thing about these Serpent Black unit. Partly it's because we're fighting in the city, right? That they're not having this devastating effect on my men. But they are a fearsome unit. They are, you know, these guys are worried about fighting mounted troops, but they're also having the fear effect from this unit just in general. But they are taking losses, the Serpent Black, and they are not totally overrunning my guys. Now, I've got a couple of very low-tier units here, too, and they're not instantly taking them out. So, let's see. We've got 21 men here, 15 men and horsemen of the Harondor. And they're utterly tired already. Man. Well, let's get our archers. Oh, are you guys... Okay, we're losing like an entire... Oh, man. An entire unit of archers to the tower fire that I thought didn't exist. Okay, great. Let's send you in. Maybe we'll do a charge. Okay, looks like they will. But they're not quite aimed right because they've got my own men in the way. But that was okay. Now we're going to start to take losses. Now I'll send in my bodyguard. 18 men left, 17. Oh, yeah. And he goes down. Great.
This news will run like wildfire through the enemy and bring despair.
All right. Archers can be like here. Make sure they're all not skirmishing. And we'll get our infantry like that. Our cav like that. And let's see if they will allow us to make that kind of move. I'm going to get my skirmishers around here. Okay, so mental note, towers still work as expected. Maybe just not in the forts, though, because that was definitely not showing up. Okay, this could be good. They're going to overrun my Harondor footmen, and now we can, like, push them out of the plaza, maybe. If they'll allow it. They may want to head back inside the plaza. But we get them to rout, we win the city, and that should be the end of it. Let's actually halt our archers and risk some friendly fire, I guess. Wavering. I think they're still technically inside the plaza, so yeah, let's just charge in. Okay, that's it. Great. Yeah, there's a lot of losses. Again, a bunch of that is just inattention on my part, thinking that the towers weren't doing what I thought they would do. But part of it is, you know, city battles always cause problems. So that's why I prefer to take settlements through other means if possible. So we have Habad. And again, there's okay, so here we're getting down to a point where there's only 2,000 men. You know, much lower than this, and I'm like just about guaranteed to occupy. So let's do that in this case. We will occupy Habad. Look at how tiny our force is. I mean, this was our once proud full stack army. So what we're going to do is, instead of training an emissary to guard against bribery, we're going to move one of the scouts up there. Habad cannot train scouts. But we are going to make this into a financial settlement at some point. It looks like Harad didn't quite get to that point. And so we will go ahead and delete the Homeland Dominion and start getting our own stuff. Now, in terms of the army, I think we could probably get away with that mercenary unit as a kind of very under-strength garrison. We do have to be a little aware of naval assaults from Harad, though, because that's how they tried to defend Karis Nan at the beginning of this episode. So they've got more men here that they could easily put on a ship and send down. So Haradland can literally train nothing. Lon Nu Elanath can train Harondor footmen. So what I might do is get the ship here, and let's bring that footman unit up north. And yeah, we'll drop it off there, and you'll just march. We'll get up to Lon Nu Elanath. Yeah, because that's going to be a little quicker. And I'm going to train some skirmishers out of here, and we'll send you down with those skirmishers and with these Harondor armsmen. And do I want a third unit? I think archers of Harad are just quite good. They're cheap, very cheap compared to some of our other stuff. And especially for these kind of random, sea town garrisons where you don't know what you're going to fight, it's nice to have some archers. So we'll get them queued up and headed over into the west. And here, let's get something kind of decent down here. And let's give some thought to this. So Radharnan is a settlement in our heartlands. It's a homeland settlement. It doesn't have great stuff. Like, it's got horses as a resource, and that's it. It's decent in terms of land tax, I guess, in terms of fertility. Trade, it's currently making 635. Harmen is making 513. So maybe this is better in terms of trade. So I guess, we can go with a financial place here. Let's queue that up. And I'm going to wait until I get a governor. I guess Annabon, I do have a governor here. So what do we want to go with this? Okay, precious materials. Yeah, let's do that. This is definitely going to be financial. We're going to take advantage of this ivory here. And Harad has this sort of ivory route where you've got yeah, it's right here. This is a special building, actually, that just increases trade by itself, right? In addition to all the stuff you can do through traders. So it really makes sense for these to be financial settlements, unless you're playing as Harad, and then you need one of them to be military so that you can train your Mumikil, because those can only be trained out of ivory-producing provinces. But everything's going pretty well here. We're losing cash again, and we failed to take this settlement, but I think that'll be okay. Let's move a unit. Let's see. I kind of feel like I want another emissary in the region, since we've got one who's way up in the north. And yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on what the Reunited Kingdom is going to do, because an attack from them may come sooner than we are ready for. Okay, east is looking good.
My eyes are yours, unseen,
And it looks like they're not that vigorous about trying to get troops back to Athendad. And this would be a really nice grab if I had men in the region, which I don't. And let's see, the army that was... I think they just moved back inside An Umbar, but there was that army who was right here, who is now not. So yeah, I think they're heading back. Oh, okay. I don't know if we could take it. Well, maybe we will. Let's check the news first. We'll give that a shot. Okay, so Dale and Rune are at war. And yeah, Chieftain of Rune and Reunited Kingdom allying is a fairly typical thing to see. We'll see if that holds up, though, because the Reunited Kingdom might be chewing through Adunabar at the moment, and soon to share a border with Rune. Okay, great. Karis Nan has that provincial pacification, so that means we need to get going right away on Outland Dominion. And with that, we're in the negatives, but not too bad. So we were actually slated to make a decent amount there. So Tanari of Near Harad West has got this very important trait of attuned governor, which gives all these nice bonuses. And where is he? I think, okay, Akasanabon, great. So that means we could really start building with him in earnest because he's getting some discounts. So yeah, the Precious Materials Charter has unlocked for us the Ivory Carvers building, which is going to give us some more trade. If you're new to the mod, you may be wondering what this means, the plus or minus in front of some of these numbers. And what it means is you can check the, a lot of times you can check the settlement details scroll and queue up a building and it'll show you what it's going to do. So this is going to give us an increase of trade by over 100, 120, and then on top of that another 12 for administration bonuses. But it's also got an upkeep associated with it, and so a lot of the buildings in the mod have this upkeep. So you don't always want to build everything everywhere, because in some cases, like a poor province is going to cost more if you insist on having like super high tier trade related buildings, right? Because it's going to cost more to fund it than you would earn in profit. But in any case, this is going to cost a very minimal amount in terms of upkeep. There's going to be some mismanagement, but I think that's fine. We could keep that, or we could do something else like the roads, which are a really good buy, especially for Harad's territory. So I'm thinking about that. It's a lot of money. It's also going to be a trade building. So this is going to also earn us some cash, but it's going to cost more in upkeep, as you can see. But still not too bad, actually. I think we can. I think it earns more in trade, right? Like over 100, 120 in trade, and it's losing from 1152 to 1238, or from 1238 down to 1152. So yeah, we'll still be making a bit of a profit off of that. And we are the most advanced. Great. So we'll go into a little bit of negative income for the purposes of the roads down south. And then here we're going to retrain our Harondor footmen. And we've got skirmishers coming, and we've got archers coming. We'll get these guys all together and then back down to Habad. Okay, now this was stupid of me. I should not have left this boat outside, because this Haradrian fleet could have easily taken me out, but they didn't. Now this fleet I don't think was here last turn, so they're probably getting knocked around by Reunited Kingdom ships. That's probably why we were not helped. But this boat here, I wonder if they dropped off these soldiers. So let's, as our last action here, yeah, let's take our all-cav army, let's hit that, and they're going to come out from the city to fight. So this is the air. They're going through heirs and faction leaders a lot these days. And we've got, so a couple of good cav units, a couple of swords, a couple of very light stuff, and this is a swords unit. All right, let's do it. So a couple of family members. These guys are getting on in age, I feel like, and we need to be a little careful of them. On the other hand, they have provided us fantastic service, especially Muntasir of Haradland, who has been the commander of our all-cavalry army since the beginning, and has won us some very, very useful victories, and just provided general service in the form of keeping enemy armies off of our backs, right? So there's my melee guys, and here's my skirmish guys. Let's just get them at the end of the line there, down here in the display. Okay, so that's where you can see the fleets off of the coast there. That's where the ship is, and that's also where the enemy archers happen to... No, they're going to be right in front of us. Right, they're going to be right here. And the garrison is going to be off in this direction, I guess. Not quite sure. So we'll have to keep our eyes to that. So let's just hang out here for the moment. Oh, they're right behind us. Oh, no. All right, let's just do a quick group and recalibrate. And pull back, because we want them to come down off the hill. Now, I'm not sure what those swords are going to do. I'm a little concerned that they're going to withdraw. It looks like they're moving, but I can't tell the direction just yet. All right, they're approaching. Great. So swords, and then the rest is low tier stuff, but they've got their bodyguard and some more cav. All right, let's split them up, I guess. Actually, no, I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind because we're going to need them here to help chase the cav off. Let's get the higher ground. And we'll just play it kind of slow with our skirmishers. Okay, we want to hit the swords pretty hard. Let's get the lancers to do that. Get the Harondor riders up the hill a little bit. Okay, we're going to hit them in the back, actually. We got to get that bodyguard. Now, the skirmishers are kind of in danger at the moment of being sandwiched. Alright, let's just send those Harondor riders after them and charge our bodyguard at theirs. He's got 31 men. Together, we easily outnumber him. Okay, there's those Harondor riders. Come on, break. 18 men left. They're going to let us charge him. Alright, we should have this. If we break them too soon, the danger is that their army's going to run. Alright, great, we got that. Now it's time to push. Push through. Unfortunately, it looks like a bunch of my guys are caught on the corpses of those Swords of Harad. That stinks. That's really going to hurt our mobility. Alright, you go here. Where's the enemy cav? Oh, it's right there. Okay, and we have not... There he goes. Finally took out the enemy general. Alright, let's go... we got to start swarming him, so he doesn't get away. We got their cav. These are footmen. These are more swords. Okay, I think we're good. Bring you down, but yeah, look at these units. So they're stuck fighting what is essentially already a dead unit, and this does happen, unfortunately. All right, Swords of Harad. Let's hit them with our skirmish cav. Don't have a lot of other options, and you're trying to get away, possibly.
The enemy flee. Chase them from the field and give them no rest.
All right, turn and please get these guys. I really need to get them off the field. Alright, and there's those swords. Right, hit him with everybody. I think we got all of the footmen there. This unit's routing, broken. Okay. He goes down. Great. I think that's it. Got maybe some routers off in the distance. Okay, we didn't get all the footmen. There's a few of them off there, but we lost about, 60 or so men. But hopefully that gets us a city. Now, the other thing is, do we have the movement points to get in? Because it was kind of close even to get here. So, we'll see about that. If nothing else, we took out a bunch of their units, and going to make it that much easier to get the place. Okay, looks like we got it. All right. All right, and I will lay desolate here because, again, I don't think the money out of this place is that good. You know, it's 200 in trade, and it tends not to be that well built up initially. So we're not going to be training stuff out of here anyway. We can get rid of this execution square. Again, the thing I'm looking for is the effects line. Like this tells you what it provides, right? This tells you it provides some stuff. This, nothing. So we'll get rid of that. This, again, does provide stuff for us, but there's a question, do we want this to be an administrative policy in Ann Umbar? I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it there for now, administrative policies allow you to do stuff like get higher tier libraries and happiness buildings, so they can have their use. But usually, I don't know, this seems to be like, I don't think they're going to be that useful here, but let's leave it there for the moment. And I think this makes a good point for us to end the episode. We failed to take Pinumbar Fortress in an embarrassing assault, but we've taken all the other settlements on the coast, so I'd say that's a more than fair trade. We've got Umbar City queuing up the Outland Dominion here, and we're working on all these other places. Before we forget, by the way, what else do we need to destroy here? Yeah, okay, so everything but the Homeland Dominion. We'll take that out and queue that up. So when we come back, we're going to be just clearing these out. That's going to be the next goal. Athendad, and then Adabara, and then we're going to see if Harad is interested in being our protectorate. We will need some money to make that happen, so we're going to have to, get our economy online and hope that we're not attacked by the Reunited Kingdom, which I guess we can end the episode by seeing how they are disposed up in Ithilien. I'm not seeing any troops marching at us yet. Okay. And there's only one man inside Emin Arnon. Now, they could be, ambushing us in the trees, but I don't think so. So I think we are just about ready to wrap this up, and I think we're going to have time. I think we are, so that we can get Harad finished, totally under our belt, and then get ready to decide how we're going to move to, into the mid-game, right? Into the mid-phase of our Harondor campaign, which is a phase that I don't often see. Usually I sort of lose interest after taking out Umbar here, but we'll see how we manage to complete this, because it would be kind of cool to extend our sway across the mouths of Anduin. So I hope you'll join me for that. Until the next episode, everybody, take care.